This is a very natural human longing, the longing to surrender to life, to stop trying to take care of what clearly cannot be taken care of. And then there's submission, the following of the rules, the doing what we feel we should do, the I don't see any other alternative, so I'll just do this. And it's a very, very, very fine line. This is Aliveness. I'm your host, Alison Crosthwait, a guide and former psychotherapist here to empower you to break out of your old patterns, shift into a new state of being, and ignite your aliveness. Submission versus surrender. There's a well-known psychoanalytic paper that we spent a lot of time on in my training by Emmanuel Gent, and the title is Masochism, Submission, Surrender. Masochism as a perversion of surrender. So what's the difference between submission and surrender? These are two words that we use quite frequently, especially around sexuality. And they both have a kind of hotness to them in their own way. They both talk about a longing to give over, to let go. This is a very natural human longing, the longing to surrender to life, to stop trying to take care of what clearly cannot be taken care of. That's from a surrendered viewpoint. I say that to just receive, to be penetrated by life, to surrender. Yes. And then there's submission, the following of the rules, the doing what we feel we should do, the I don't see any other alternative, so I'll just do this. And it's a very, very, very fine line. Now in kink, a dom and a sub can set up a set of agreements where submission is an energy that is played with and explored, but it has a framework, and it is for the purpose of play and exploration, and also for the purpose of experiencing surrender sometimes. But in a day-to-day life, the line between submission to it's just the way it is what it is, I gotta do it, I'm scared not to do it, and I am bringing myself fully to life and letting life do what it will, and I am surrendered, and yet I still have to get up and eat breakfast and feed the dog, this is the paradox and the art of life. And it really comes down to the energetic, because surrender is energy gain. Surrender can hurt. There can be big emotions, but big emotions are big energy. So recently I did a 5-day event, and it was so good. And I loved every minute of doing it. And I poured my heart out. And the immediate response was so good, and no one stepped in to work with me. So here is my opportunity to submit or surrender. Now, they eventually did, which I'm really glad for, and it was exactly the right people. And I'm learning about surrender all the time. Here's the submit choice in that case that I was tempted to do. That's not fair. No one wants to pay me for my work in the world. Like, nothing ever works for me. I can't have a baby. I can't find a partner. I can't have a business. Like, it grows, right? Like, really big, really fast. Nothing I can do. I'm cursed way back to core wounding in like a friggin' hair's breadth, right? That's not surrender. You can see that's not surrender, right? I've allowed life to become my dominant masochist, and I am not enjoying it. Surrender, which I was able to step into. And it's an interflow, right? We're always weaving. Surrender is this. This hurts. And I cried a lot. It hurt that I had put so much out there with so much heart. And it appeared to me like I wasn't receiving in a way that would make this work sustainable for the future. And it didn't make sense to me. And it hurt. And there was fear underneath. Because in order to keep doing this, I need to work with people. So I thought I might have to make some really, really big changes in my life and reconstruct it. And those would have taken a lot of focus away from the work that I am just loving doing. And I didn't want that. And I was scared. And I felt like I wasn't safe. And so I was feeling the fear. I was crying with the disappointment and the hurt. But it was like a beautiful kind of like, oh my God, like, I just want to do this work. It was so heartfelt, and it feels so vulnerable to share this with you. But I was stepping into, in those moments, and I weaved in and out, but I was able in those moments to step into the surrender to the feeling of the moment, which was energy gain. To feel it like, ow, that's surrender. The submit is more like this, don't hurt me. It's the protection. It's the hiding. Surrender does not hide. It doesn't hide. Surrender feels it all. It feels it all. And that's big. And so surrender is about the physical capacity to feel our feelings. Surrender is about allowing our experiences to be different from what we expected. So the mind has to really relax and be like, this was supposed to be like this. This was no. Nothing about my life has been anything like I thought it would be. Basically, in any way, I think I still like to read and I still like animals. The life is not like, the mind is not necessarily helping here to let go of all of that. Surrender is feeling it all. And sometimes it's really hard. And it's all of it because that's what creates the ability to feel joy too. And that's what lets others know they're safe around us because we've got this big well of feeling. And so they can have theirs and we can all expand together. And we surrender to what is true, which is life. This ellipse that we're on that appears like a straight line, but we're on this ellipse. And we're surrendered and we're discovering and exploring. And it's surrendering spiritually to our understandings and our experiences. And what does it actually mean to be here? And each of us is looking at a different part of that truth and surrendering to that and all the differences in that too. And in sex, surrender is allowing the orgasm. So we talked about orgasm being like chocolate. Inhale, exhale, genital orgasm. It's all of it. So how to not have an orgasm? Come right now, do it. Okay. So in some circumstances, that's kind of sexy. That can work. But generally, especially those big, juicy flow ones like that, those are, okay, I feel it. And my mind is out of the way. And it's like, you just let it go. Just like there. It didn't actually peak where I thought it was going to, but hey. Surrender in sex is allowing the life force to flow through us. We didn't make ourselves into these bodies. Life made us. And it's surrendering to the aliveness that is us that creates more than what we think we are. That's surrender. And it's really juicy. And submission is something to play with. And it's not to be confused with the surrender to penetration in every cell by life. If this resonates with you, be sure to subscribe so you get all the juicy episodes to come. And if you have a friend who is deep into their personal growth and healing journey, share this podcast with them too. Now go out and experience the aliveness that's here for you today.